4th at Wrdw Park Activity Center. This event will have interactive exhibitors, a touch a truck area, a petting zoo, and more. For more information, visit csrakids.com.
Trust Chief Meteorologist Riley Hale for your first alert. You're watching News 12 live at 5. Continues.
We've got another great night of high school football coverage. What an afternoon it is outside. Just ahead, we'll have a live report ahead of tonight's Under the Lights game of the week. But first, Riley, anyone heading to a game tonight will probably need a jacket. How's it going to feel around kickoff for us?
Around kick, look at the rest of the weekend forecast for you in just about 10 minutes.
All right, thanks, Riley. We're learning more information about a Columbia County middle school student who went into cardiac arrest on the basketball court. School officials say EMS responded to Lakeside Middle during a basketball game against Columbia Middle. A parent told us the student fell over. Everyone thought the player was having a seizure, and then they became lifeless. Our Sydney Hood has been following this story today and joins us live in the newsroom in Sydney. What do we know so far?
Will, it definitely was an unexpected turn of events for both Columbia Middle and Lakeside Middle basketball players. Having one of your teammates collapse during the game is not exactly how you want to kick off the season. Right now, outside Columbia Middle School reads Friday's basketball game canceled. School officials said the boys and girls basketball game scheduled for tonight between Columbia Middle and Harlan Middle have been postponed until next week at the request of team members and coaches. Yesterday, the player's mom posted on Facebook asking for prayers for her son who went into cardiac arrest during the game. And since then, comments are absolutely steady coming in, offering prayers to this player and their family.
Certainly a scary situation. Thank you, Sydney. Of course, we will continue to follow this story and bring you those updates as we learn more. Well, the search continues for a dangerous escaped inmate out of Jefferson County this evening, 1 week after authorities say he managed to escape. 48-year-old Richard Sawyer was last seen near Bartow last Friday afternoon while he was assigned to a road scraping detail outside the jail. He was operating a 37,000-pound machine that you see here on your screen that travels at a maximum speed of 27 miles per hour. Yesterday, we learned the grader he used to escape was recovered in Bloomingdale, which is near Savannah, and about 100 miles from where he escaped. Sawyer was serving time for a number of offenses, including theft of possession by a firearm by a felon. If you know where he could be, please call authorities. And more than 2 weeks after 4 Georgia inmates escaped in Bibb County, authorities say a second inmate was caught in Fulton County. The search continues for the remaining 2. The 4 men escaped back on October 16th. The first inmate was caught last Thursday about 50 miles from the jail in Montezuma. Happening now, the Freedom Bridge and Reynolds Street are full of food trucks and vendors for the first ever Foodie Festival. There will be more than 50 food trucks and 75 vendors throughout the weekend for this event. Many of the foods will be from various cultures, including Honduras, Salvador, Germany, France, and much more. Great time out there. Well, after 2.5 months of stellar play on the gridiron, it's the final week of the regular season for Georgia and the first week of the playoffs for South Carolina. News 12 Sports Director Dan Booth joins us live now in the studio to kick off our Under the Lights coverage for Week 12. Dan, I cannot believe we're already in Week 12 here. Perfect football weather tonight as well.
It's a beautiful thing, and it's just so much built-up excitement for these moments. And thank you, Will, because the playoffs are here for 14 of our South Carolina teams, 9 of which earned the right to have home field advantage in the first round. For some of these teams, it's been a long time since they've had the chance to host a playoff game, and News 12's Alyssa Lyons joins us live from Midland Valley to help us get ready for our Under the Lights game of the week between the undefeated Mustangs and the Easley Green Wave.
Dan, I know there's a lot of smack talk before big games, but there is no bigger and better message than this one. Right on the scoreboard, the score of last week's region championship win to give Easley a message on just who they are dealing with. We know Easley last year lost in the first round to North Augusta, and from that game, what we can tell is that the defense is really going to be thrown for a loop. They play 2 quarterbacks, one throwing, one running. On offense, we know Dunbar is a weapon, but to make sure they're able to use him to his full extent, they'll need a lot of guys to block up front. Last year, Midland Valley season came to a close in the first round. This year, they'll have to play a different kind of game if they want to stay alive.
They're a little different than some of the teams we've seen this year, where they're a little more spread out. They're going to make you defend the entire field, and we just got to be prepared to play more of a track speed game, not like a more physical game like last Friday was.
Midland Valley hasn't lost a single game at home this season. They'll get a chance to continue the streak tonight at 7:30. Until then, we have a lot more coverage coming your way in the next half hour.
Thank you, Alyssa. As they work to complete their perfect season, the Mustangs are firing on all cylinders, and their confidence is at an all-time high. Sometimes two schools are just destined to go head-to-head and continue their rivalry year in and year out. Harlem and Morgan County are set to battle for the region title once again this evening. News 12's Nick Veland caught up with Harlem head coach Mark Boyder.
Back-to-back seasons, Harlem is playing for the region championship, and last year they finally got over the hump, winning a region for the first time since 1994, and tonight they'll look to go back-to-back for the first time in program history. Harlem has been perfect in region play and have a 7-2 record, with one of those losses being to an undefeated Midland Valley squad. Tonight they'll look to end their season with a cherry on top, with the region title in hand. They'll rely on Ethan Evangelista to lead their offense against a physical Morgan County team. Harlem graduated a bulk of their seniors last year, but head coach Mark Boyder says the whole season they've been learning and are ready for a chance at the title tonight.
They've been resilient all year. Every year you go through things and learning curves as a team. We graduated over 20 seniors from last year's team that won the region, so a lot of guys to replace, a lot of key positions. We've had a lot of guys step up, and they've just gotten better and better as the weeks have progressed, and they've earned the right to play for the region championship tonight, and hopefully they'll play well and come out with a win.
And coming up all new on News 12 at 6 o'clock, I'll have more on how Harlem will hope to beat Morgan County, the same team that they beat last year for the region title.
Thank you, Nick. Our Under the Lights coverage is just getting started because on News 12 at 6 o'clock, in addition to Alyssa having the latest on Midland Valley's pursuit of perfection, and Nick diving into the history of the rivalry between Harlem and Morgan County, we'll be taking a look at all of our tonight's local South Carolina playoff games.
Looking forward to it, Dan. Thanks for that update. Well, there was a groundbreaking ceremony today for a new supermarket coming to the former Whole Foods location off of Washington Road. These photos are from Mayor Garnett Johnson, who stopped by the event this afternoon. Fresh Take Grocery will reportedly open next June. The store claims it will focus on the customer experience with outdoor balconies to eat, as well as artisanal and organic groceries. This will also create 130 jobs. Well, in Georgia, worker compensation laws don't cover post-traumatic stress for first responders unless they're also physically injured. Therapy sessions can quickly rack up massive bills, and there are a few ways for our first responders to get aid from their department or the state to help. But a bill is back on the table this winter in Georgia's General Assembly, which could set up supplemental insurance programs for first responders, police, EMT workers, and more to use for mental health treatment.
It's about making sure that first responders who need help don't have to choose between having a place to live and choosing to live.
The bill was proposed last year in the General Assembly but did not pass. Many proponents for the bill are hopeful that the second time is the charm. Well, ban on popular vehicle modifications will go into effect in South Carolina starting next week. On November 12th, law enforcement will begin writing tickets for drivers who have what's known as the Carolina Squat. It's a modification where the vehicle's front fender is raised 4 or more inches above the rear fender. First-time offenders will be fined $100 after a 180-day grace period. Well, our national parks are a great way to get out and see nature, but there's a special club for one park that few hikers are able to join. Just ahead, we'll meet possibly the youngest members of this exclusive group. Riley.
And we have sunshine in 60s across the region this afternoon and warming up as we roll into the weekend. We'll have that full forecast next.
Time and temp.
Takeaway is that there's not much rain in it. We are just going to see our temperatures gradually warm up over the next couple of days. Back into the upper 70s Tuesday. We should see the 80s next Wednesday and Thursday. And then a weak front is expected to show up late into next week. Right now, not expecting rain with it, but it could bring us a few clouds and then just a little temperature drop by next Friday.
All right, thanks, Riley. Less than 1,000 people in the entire United States can say that they are a part of the 900-mile club. That's where you hike every single trail in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. As of November 1st, there are 818 members, and now there are 2 more members believed to be the youngest to ever mark this achievement. John Piersos has the story.
You have to walk a mile in somebody's shoes to know their story. But to understand these two young explorers, you have to walk 900 miles. Do your feet ever get tired from walking?
Yes.
10-year-old Elizabeth Claire Stewart and her 8-year-old brother Landon of Talbot just finished hiking every trail in the Smoky Mountains, making them members of the 900-miler club and believed to be the youngest to reach the milestone.
I like to see all the old home sites and all the history.
I like learning about like the plants and animals and mushrooms and all that.
The kids reached the mark earlier this month and already have medals with their names to show for it. They go on all of the hikes with their mom, who says she grew up hiking in the Smokies and started taking them on hikes once they could walk.
They enjoyed it too. They didn't whine or complain. This was something that they enjoyed going out because we knew that we were going to have fun. We were going to have an adventure.
Those adventures have taken them through water, snow, and amazing peaks, and have left the family with a book full of memories.
For me, it was more about the adventure with them because we just had a lot of fun.
Jennifer says some hikes were about 20 miles, which can get tiring, but she says the kids were always ready for the next adventure.
Some great memories there, and some 900-mile members don't stop after just one time. Some have hiked all 900 miles multiple times, with the record holder being 12 times total.
No one wants to think about this, but what happens to all of your online stuff when you pass away? Jamie Tucker coming up, how Google finds out that you're gone and what it does with your data.
First Alert Group.
Get Black Friday savings now at Ashley. Featured finds for every room up to 50% off, like this sofa and love seat, now just $6.99. Plus, save up to 20% off store-wide and get up to 5 years interest-free with no down payment. In-store only at Ashley. Save inside.
Well, it's something nobody likes to think about, but what happens to all of your online accounts when you die? That includes photos, passwords, social media accounts, and important documents that are all in limbo. Our consumer tech reporter Jamie Tucker shows you how to create a digital will to leave behind.
What the Tech, sponsored by Augusta Preparatory Day School.
Yeah, it's pretty tricky sharing all of the stuff you've accumulated online after you pass away. You don't want to give everyone your passwords ahead of time. Well, Google has a pretty smart feature that not many people know about that sends an email to your family with all of the information you've chosen to share after you pass away.
It's called an Active Account Manager, and here's how it works and why you should use it. An Active Account Manager will send an email to contacts you choose and give them access to the Google data you choose. You can select up to 10 people. You can also elect to send them a personal email message when you pass away. Google lets you choose what you want to share with each person. Give someone permission for your photos, someone else your contacts, or someone else who gets access to everything. And when you die, those emails go out.
So how does Google know that you passed away? It doesn't comb the obituaries, but it's pretty clever. If you don't log into Google or check your Gmail after 3 months, it assumes something might have happened to you. It sends you a text or an email to make sure you're okay. And if you don't respond, it waits another 3 months, after which it assumes, you're gone. And then it sends those emails with all of that information that you've chosen to share.
Then they'll have 3 months to download your stuff, after which your Google account is deleted.
Yes, it is pretty clever, and it's something every Google user should do because it not only helps your family, but you don't want all of your Google information out there forever. That's What the Tech. I'm Jamie Tucker.
And Google announced this week that it will begin deleting Google accounts that haven't been used in the past 2 years. If you have a Google account that you haven't used, it will be deleted starting December 1st. Now, happening tomorrow, Columbia County Schools hosting the annual Special Education Parent Resource Expo. This will be tomorrow from 11 to 1 at Evans High School. Each year, the school district's Department of Special Services hosts the expo for parents and students with disabilities. The goal is to provide knowledge and information about support services and resources in our community. Parents and students will be able to mingle with representatives from dozens of specialized businesses and service providers in the area. As winter approaches, it already feels like it's here, and temperatures drop, energy bills will do the opposite. That's why Georgia's low-income home energy assistance program is opening applications soon, starting December 1st. Those who are 65 or older, as well as the applications open January 2nd. To qualify, you must fall under a certain pay threshold, and you must apply through your local community action agency. To learn more, you can head to our website, wrdw.com. Riley?
Well, the cold temperatures will continue over the next several mornings, back down close to freezing Saturday and still 30s into early Sunday and Monday. Now look at that full 7-day forecast just after the break.
Well, get ready for an extra hour of sleep this weekend. A reminder, daylight saving time ends this Sunday. This is your reminder to move your clocks back 1 hour. Smart devices like your phones and computers should automatically do this. Experts recommend that you stick to your normal bedtime and continue to follow your typical sleeping habits. That's on Sunday, and we all get that extra hour before we come into work, Riley.
Absolutely. There's probably going to be a lot of people showing up for their tea times, maybe a little bit early Sunday morning.
Maybe people late to work as well.
Yeah, maybe late to work as well. But, hey, we do get that extra hour sleep. I would imagine that's kind of the only benefit we get from it, because we do get those 5:30 sunsets back by Sunday. Here's a live look from our SRP Park Cam. I have it zoomed into the Freedom Bridge. So that's where they have the Foodie Festival ongoing. So you can kind of see through the bridge there and a few trees. That is very busy there on the walking bridge. So it looks like a good time out there. They got great weather for it. Temperatures right now in the mid-60s. We will see these fall off pretty quickly, though, as we head later into this evening and tonight. If you are stepping out, temperatures should be in the 50s by around 7, 8 o'clock, and then we're talking 40s as we get towards 9 and 10. So definitely grab the jacket if you're stepping out, even though it feels very comfortable at the moment. Tomorrow morning, we should see freezing temps once again away from the city. 32 is what we're going with that at Bushfield. We'll hang on to sunshine through the weekend, and temperatures will gradually warm up heading into next week. Back close to 80 Tuesday through next Thursday.
All right, thanks, Riley. Stick with us. We have more news, weather, and sports coming up after a short break on News 12 at 6 o'clock.